Good morning, good morning. Peaceful Monday here in Asakusa today. There's a bit of garbage. Oh yeah, I see. It's the first Monday. First Monday in the month. So we've got the garbage pickup is the what is it? It's the non-recyclable, non-burnable, non-whatever. It's the leftover stuff, broken glass and things like that. We don't have any this morning. We don't have much of that kind of stuff at all. So. Oh, well, another week begins, I guess. I'm not quite sure. For me, I don't know when the week begins. It's all around and around and around. Carving again still. We're still with the knife. We will have a carving. Prints. This is from Dei-chan. I know it's not packaged up because she works upstairs here, so she delivered it from upstairs. Test paper from Udatsu along with, here's her batch. We are now well over 2,000 copies on this one, and it's still going strong. The blocks are pumping away. The printers have got this worked out long, long, long ago. There aren't really too many fine lines on this. We've got a mustache, but that's no big deal. The fingers are a bit delicate. This sort of thing, these would break down first. We're over 2,000 copies now. Here, these spokes, they would break down. They're nice and thin. This is the thing about woodblock prints. There's this huge myth. You can only make X copies or X hundred copies. It's not true. If I had the first copy standing here beside me here, you could almost not tell the difference between copy number 1 and copy number 2,000 plus. Jed is just laughing all the way to the bank. He gets a very, very good royalty on these, you know. His work was done 12 years ago. Now he's just laughing all the way to the bank. It's his pension, one part of his pension. It's too bad the new ones aren't coming out like that, but let's not go there. Now you can't hit a home run every time you go to bat. Okay, I have been busy while we've off stream. I can't wait for the stream to start up, and this block is now done. We've been hacking around at it for quite a long time. The block with the knot, it's done. I don't need to clear any wider than that. The paper will only come this far. So this is the block that will print the key block on the back side of the design. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to start the front side. I will have to do color separation work here. Print and separate for 5 or 6 colors, but I haven't got the preparation sheets ready for that yet. So what we'll do is we will move on to the second part of the design. I have the tracing, if you call it that, the hanshita, ready for the other part of the design, the one that will be the shoji screen that has the shadow. And we're going to do it on the back of this block, so we can do that this morning. So let's trim to the kento here. It hath been busy here, you know, the last few days. Someone say, how does the Udatsu paper do? Well, I'll be comparing it, you know, later. Let me get started first. There's so many things to do here today. Let me get started. Halfway along, we've got cards and letters to look at that I didn't get open from last time. Remind me about this then, and let's try and look at it. I just really would like to get started here. I am so far behind the 8 ball now on this. Is that the expression? I don't know. I'm so far behind schedule, whatever. The shop, the last weekend, it was the busiest weekend we have ever had. The numbers just keep climbing. The visitor counts just keep climbing. the 2-day period, Saturday and Sunday, was the busiest 2-day period in our history. Talking about the shop. Great fun. Tons of people to visit. Tons of people. The pattern is now becoming established that I'm not here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's becoming known. So of course the weekends are becoming busier. And okay, no problem. No problem. That's the way she goes. Okay, we'll use the back of this. It's also fairly hard. Fairly hard. And what I'll do, I think, because we didn't use this part because of the knot, it'll be cumbersome to leave this here. So I think after I'm finished this, I will take it upstairs and cut on the table saw. And we'll just cut away this part because it's just in the way. We don't need it. So if I'm going to do that, I have to make sure that on the back, we don't use that sewn. So let's do that. Let's mark off. Okay, I'll get rid of that with a table saw later. Dave's going to need a bigger boat. Yeah, we need a bigger shop. It depends on what we want to do. Mostly, having a bigger shop actually wouldn't help us right now. It would help more people fit in the room, but it wouldn't help because we have no extra prints. I mean, we don't have lots and lots more prints to display that we could display if we had more room. That's not the way it goes. But bigger shop, bigger building, we would like to get started on the museum / gallery / exhibition space. And that really it's not going to happen in this building, so I don't know. Someone says, fun to visit the shop yesterday. When you were here, was it crowded? In the morning, it was nuts. It tapered off a little bit in the afternoon. We never know. Saturday was like this. We came in Saturday, and from 10 o'clock we opened till 11 to 12, 0. The register was 0, almost nobody was here. And then it exploded. Sunday was the reverse. People were outside when we got opened. It was busy, busy, busy all the way till about 1 or 2 o'clock, and then it settled down. So you were here yesterday. Did you say? It was fun to visit the shop yesterday. When it was nuts or when it was quiet? Someone's asking why we're using cherry wood. There are, of course, millions of woods. This one has the proper mix of features for this kind of work. It's got to be relatively dense and hard so it doesn't wear out. It's got to not be too hard. There's grenadilla or ebony, stuff like that, that is super hard but doesn't absorb wood well. It's got to have a balance between hardness, moisture absorbability. It's got to have a grain direction or grain patterns in general that allow us to carve the kind of lines we want to have, not be too brittle. I mean, the old printmakers back in the Edo period, they didn't do a worldwide search and choose the best wood. You know, they used what they had, and their tradition came into being based on the materials that they had. So it's kind of a chicken and egg. Why is cherry wood suitable for Japanese prints? Japanese prints came to existence because cherry wood was the wood that they had here, and the print style and pattern and mood and feeling reflected that. So if we want to make prints like that rickshaw card I just showed you, that have the same color tones and depth and mood and feeling, then it's a no-brainer that we use the same materials, the same paper and the same wood. Modern people making prints of different mood, different everything, different kind of feeling, they of course would probably perhaps find a different wood more suitable. But if it's the traditional Japanese print that you're trying to emulate, then the traditional Japanese materials are, of course, the main way to do that. It's a bit of a circular answer. Why do we use cherry wood for Japanese prints? Because. I'm sorry. So I was talking about the Richmond Hotel around the corner. There are two Richmond hotels around the corner. Richmond and Richmond International. Someone's asking, why don't we have a link to our website on the Twitch channel? I thought we did. Look at this design, there's not much to it. It's going to be lines. This is the lines that form the frame of the shoji screen. Auction notices. The weekend too was a big weekend, very, very big weekend for us for buying prints. None of the dealer auction stuff happens on weekends, of course, that's all during business hours, but the Yahoo auction thing, a lot of it happens on the weekends, and this past weekend was a very, very, very busy weekend. We scored a bunch of stuff. I was up late last night again. Here we go. I've peeled off a bit too much. There's not much left to peel here. Here we go. Boo, 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 boo. Nothing to this one. I think what we said last time, because the color blocks for these are going to be small, we have enough Gumpy here to do a second sheet. So I kept... When we peeled off, when we peeled off our man on one leg the other day, I kept that. And I'm going to keep this one because I want to try using it twice. And we're going to have a smaller area, so we can do that. So let me keep it here. And we'll meet him again in a few days. I should let it dry. It's a bit damp. Let's let it dry. Okay, it's still wet. Let it sit for a minute. If I try carving it now, the paper will slide on the wet glue. Give it a minute to settle down. Okay, there's a million things on my list to talk about today. The other day when I sat down here, I showed you a bunch of cards and letters that are coming in from people, and we'll have to look at these today. Some of them, there's more built up over the weekend. Ow, ow, ow. But before I do, there's one thing I want to pop out at you, just while we wait for this to dry for a minute. Over the weekend, we had some visitors from, the usual kind of people. People fans of our work, watching YouTube, watching this Twitch stream, stuff like that. Among them are many, many people who are, doing their own work. Illustration, sometimes they make woodblock prints. We're probably going to see in a few minutes. Somebody has brought a woodblock print here for us that they've made. They're not all printmakers. There's lots of people who watch our YouTube channels and these streams who are doing illustration or art, but that are not printmakers. And among Saturday, among Saturday's visitors was one young man who he didn't really want to talk about his own work. I had asked him, we'd chat about this and that, this and that. And when I asked him what you do, I think he said something first. He's a software engineer or something. I can't remember the exact tone of the conversation. I'm sorry, they're all mixed together. But his lady was with him, and she poked him a little bit and said, no, come on, tell Dave. And he said he's an illustrator, and he's a painter. He's drawing, painting with oil paints, which is not what we do. But I was interested, show me your stuff. He really is not the kind of person who would say, yeah, look at this. But he eventually coughed up his phone, and we looked at it. And the work was so interesting to me and so stunning that I want to just take a minute here and share this with you. It's not woodblock prints. It's nothing to do with woodblock prints. The young man lives in Hawaii. He's interested in nature and whatever over there. And he is doing oil paintings of Hawaiian birds. And this is one of his works. He didn't bring any paintings to show me whatever in the shop here, but he's doing paintings of Hawaiian birds. And I only saw them on the phone, and I'm like, what? Actually, the girls saw them first at the counter. They called me over. I looked at this. I grabbed the guy's phone, and I'm just sitting there scrolling through his pictures on his phone. This young man is so good at this. This is incredible. I mean, one aspect of this is the realism. Yeah, cool. Wow, you take a photograph, bunch of photographs, mix them together, you take your strokes, and you make it look real. That's a thing. You like it or you don't like it. To me, well, I'm not an expert on oil paintings, but there's a lightness and a freshness and a clean air feeling to this that I don't think really normally goes well with oil paintings. And this young man, let me pop the link in. He's got a website. He doesn't do social media very well at all. He's got a little clunky website that shows a few images. You can't buy stuff. You can't get prints of these things. His name is Furuya, Michael Furuya, living in Hawaii. Going by his name, there must be some Japanese ancestry up there at some point. And this young man is we were all of us, we were just amazed at this. Amazed. It's, of course, we were asking him about the methodology, and it's based on photography, of course, but it's not a single picture. That one we just saw a moment ago, it's assembled together. He takes pictures of tree trunks, takes pictures of birds, takes pictures of clouds, skies, mountains, whatever, and assembles images. So whatever, there's nothing, don't, here, go ahead and buy the stuff, whatever. He doesn't have actually any way for you to do that, but I just really wanted to put this out there. It seems he's got a day job. He's not either able or is not ready or whatever to move over and make this his way of making a living. But for what it's worth, let's just put this out there. He was a very friendly, very non-pushy guy, and just I thought this was really, really so cool. It would be cool to show everybody. Amazing, absolutely amazing. We were telling him, it's not my business here, whatever. But he's in Hawaii. If he had a tie-up with some gallery here down in the Ginza, do an exhibition once a year, maybe sell the paintings for decent prices, have offset prints, have a little collection book, a sakuhinshu. I think he could make a go at this here in Japan very, very well. Anyway, there you have it. Nothing to do with our work, but let's cut some wood. Okay, now, before I start this one, the one we've just finished actually is not totally finished. When I was clearing out the thing, it turns out that I forgot to open the eyes. The eyes are not yet open. They're there, they're ready to carve, and I can see them. So why don't I do them right now? Well, what I had done instead, without noticing that the eyes weren't done, I had switched to doing the outline. And for the outline, we have a what do you call it? A not so sharp bevel on our knife. I forget the word. It's not so acute, so I can't actually cut the eyes right now. I could sharpen this to do an acute, cut the two eyes, but then now, coming over here, I don't want an acute angle on the knife again. I know, if Taran-san is watching this, he's just got his head in his hands. Why don't you get a collection of knives and have 2 or 3 knives and all that kind of stuff, and have an acute one, have a straight line knife? Yeah, maybe one day I'll think about that. So at the moment, I will leave the eyes alone, and I will come here and start these lines of the shoji screen, because my knife is nicely not so acute. And we're going to do the same thing for this that I did for the border here. I used a straight edge for one side of it, and I did the other side a freehand to match. The straight edge to keep me on line, and then the other side freehand, just to keep some taste in it. Are we on camera? Yeah. Well, it might help if I put a light on. And at this point, we're really just scribing. We're just scratching the surface. We're not cutting deeply here against the edge. We're just scribing a line. I think, what did I say? I said I'm going to do one side with a knife, one side freehand. But I think for the outside of this shoji, I think, now that I think about it, I'll do both sides with the knife, with the ruler. Yeah, let's do the inside as well with the ruler. It's supposed to be a wooden frame. It's architectural, so there's no reason. We're not worried about taste here. Taran-san and I were talking about this the other day, the straight lines, how straight, how freehand, or whatever. Taran-san at the moment, he's carving the first print in next year's subscription series. And it's, rather than ukiyo-e style, it's going to be, 21st century. It's modern work, it's modern art. We're not doing reproductions next year. And it's sort of, I guess, whatever, Shinhanga type stuff you could say. And on Shinhanga prints in the 20th century, there was 2 different ways that they did the borders. There weren't always borders, but when there was a border, there were 2 different ways that they were handled at Watanabe-san's place. Some of them were ruled borders that were straight, like we saw on the old ukiyo-e prints. The borders on those prints, when they had them, were always ruled straight. But some of the 20th century Shinhanga prints, they had a more of a brushed border. The border was brushed and the carver carved it a bit freehand. So Taran-san and I, also in consultation with the designers of the print, we're thinking about what to do. What shall we do? Shall we make the border lines mechanical and straight like ukiyo-e prints? Or should we do them freehand? And Taran-san ran it up freehand for the first one, and we like it. We like it. So next year's series, in a Shinhanga drawing style, is going to be very, 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 very much about the brush. Something we've missed in our work now for a while, in our new work. We've missed brushwork, and the next year's series is very, very much going to be about the brush. Okay, to get closer, let me get closer. How long has the keg been there? I don't know. It wasn't there when I went to bed last night, and it was there when I got up this morning. I would guess that as the bar next door, the restaurant bar, when they're closing down and cleaning up, they put it out. It's obviously just ready for refill. At some point today, the truck from one of the beer delivery companies will come and pick it up and replace it. No. It wasn't there yesterday. It appeared last night. And we've seen a keg on previous streams. Believe me, they don't sit out there very long, of course. It seems Jason's here. Sensei Martian is here. Good morning, good morning. Sensei Martian and I have teed up. He will be visiting. I've already forgotten. It's written on the calendar. I can't reach it right now. He will be visiting. It's next week or the week after. I can't remember. He'll be visiting to chat with us about his trip. A little recap about his trip. So I'm saying termites. Do we have any problems with termites? No. Our blocks, we store them out in the open. We don't hide them back in some damp room away from the air. All of our block sets are stored on open shelves. They are lightly wrapped in newspaper. They are not sealed in any plastic or anything like that. They're lightly wrapped and they're out in the open where we can see them, where fresh air can go. And they dry out a bit more in the winter. They get damp in the summer. And there's no way that there's going to be any chance of termites digging into them. My house, that's a different story. In one of the kitchen walls, I think we've got something living in one of the walls, and I'm half afraid to open it up and look and see what I might find in there. It's funny. With myself, when I peed blood, I head to the doctor straight away. But with the house, when I hear noises in the walls, I don't call the carpenter. Whatever will be, will be. Oh, good morning, Yamada-san. Hi.
Here's the key.
Ah, soka. It's, you don't... Hi. No problem. Feel free. Come say hello. Come say hello. Just say hello. It's Yamada-san. Here's the key. Come and get it. Nanda. Too shy. Accountants. I guess that's what you want in an accountant, right? Someone too shy, not outgoing, just happy to sit at his desk. Don't bother me. Let me do my numbers, So. Okay. I sent you a few emails over the weekend, a couple of stuff I forgot we got to take care of. Someone's asking a paper out. Is this Tom 1060? Tom 1060, we have a problem. We have a problem. The paper is out now because Ishikawa-san came at 6:30 and she took it out herself. I forgot today. I forgot. Where were you when I needed you at 5:30 this morning? No, it's my own fault. I forgot. It's funny, you know, too, because I know why I forgot. It's a break in the routine. You know, I guess I'm whatever. At my age now, routines are routines. I handle routines pretty well. It's when things are not on the normal routine that I screw up. And normally I wake up these days during the summer. It'll change when winter comes, but in the summer here, because I've had a nap in the afternoon, I wake up about 5. I don't get up, but I wake up about 5. Pee, whatever, come back. And then I stay in bed. You know the deal where you're half awake, half asleep, half awake, half asleep. You're not either. Really a nice time of day, peaceful time of day. Then at 6 o'clock, the temple bell rings, and that's when my day starts. I then get up, get out there, take the paper out, do this, do that. You know, do the different things that have to start the morning routine. But today, I woke up earlier, something for something, and couldn't settle down, you know. I guess I know why, just so much craziness the last few days. I couldn't settle down. And that broke the routine. And that was that. You know, I didn't get upstairs, didn't take the paper out. And then when I heard her footsteps, Ishikawa-san came at 6:30, I realized I was in trouble. And she didn't get upset, she didn't get angry. She's a nice lady, she's okay. She was disappointed in me, of course. But she didn't complain, didn't spit blood. She knows it happens, and she sort of knows why, that things are a bit chaotic here. So, and it's okay, she has other work to do. So she took her paper out and the paper for the other printers who are coming today. And then she just busied herself with other work. And maybe now, a couple of hours later, she's busy carving, busy printing. So I failed, I'm sorry. Hey, Tom Tixty says, I'll try better next time. You and me both, buddy. You and me both. All right, how am I going to do this? How are we going to do this? These lines are so close together, you know. I really of two minds how much to do this with a ruler and how much to do not, you know. Are these hotel patrons getting into a cab? I think there's a taxi outside. It's people from the hotel. Not sure. Yes, it's a taxi. Oh, look at this. We're way out of image. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Didn't somebody... Somebody's been asking for Zoom. Sorry. Hi. People waiting outside the ninja shop. Really? Really? Not at the moment, I don't see. Oh, they're inside already. I see, okay. Are they starting early today? I don't know. They were also crazy busy all through the weekend. You know, busy during the daytime, busy at nighttime with their bar. Those guys are working hard too. There's new staff there. They've hired new people. The ninja game, you know, the thing they do outside, the battle with the little kids and the ninja, that's changed. It's morphed over time. And instead of the owner who used to do it himself every time, he's got new staff now. So we hear different voices. And it's a bit disconcerting sometimes. When we hear the screaming starting outside, it usually to us that we don't bother because it's the ninja thing. But they've got new staff and it's a new voice and new kinds of screaming. So it's disconcerting to us, you know. Oh, what's that? Is somebody hurt? There's a taxi, the electric taxi. I don't know why they make that funny twitty twit 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 sound. I don't know what that is. No, the electric cars, you're making the noise, I get it, but there's a certain, did you hear it? The tweeting sound, and it sounded like something electronic, I don't know. Maybe you're right, maybe it's just the safety noise, I don't know. Is that the, I think it's a scavenger. Today, as I said, the garbage day today is the unburnable. It's metal, broken light bulbs, and all kinds of stuff. And there's a particular guy who comes around here, and he scavenges. Yeah. He's looking for useful stuff in the garbage. Not sure what you're going to find. I can't imagine what you'd find in a non-burnable garbage. What are you going to get? Broken scissors? What would possibly be useful? Broken light bulbs, dead light bulbs, broken scissors, bits of metal, I guess pots and pans, maybe copper or something, hoping to find metal and bits of it, bit by bit, get enough to sell. I don't know. Maybe that's it, metal scavenging. Okay, how's our time? Not sure how to sort out what to do today. We're about halfway through. We've got cards and letters and obviously prints. We've got a package show and tell that's arrived, which isn't really hugely interesting. Not sure what to do. Tell you what, let's do this. There's a package here from the Netherlands that's almost certainly a woodblock print or woodblock prints. It's from an address in the Netherlands, and I think he wrote to me asking about advice on some paste and stuff. So there's almost certainly a print in there. So let's save that for show and tell, along with the actual other package of goods from show and tell. And then let's have a look at a couple of the cards. Because one of them, it was opened for me when I was out in Ome. Do you remember the peanuts? We have information about the peanuts. And it turns out that maybe when we received those peanuts last week, I was a bit confused about it. I read part of the letter that the person wrote, and we were confused, or I was confused about what did it say outside? It said deep fried hot oil peanuts or something like this. And people were talking about peanuts should be boiled. And I read the letter. But I guess I had either been confused about it, whatever. So the gentleman, the family who sent the peanuts has updated the data here. So I've got to get this right, you know. Easily, without all the extras. The reason I affixed the deep fat fried label to the package, the peanut package, There's an update here. He said deep fat fried. The reason I affixed the deep fat fried label to your package from me has to do with food safety, not smuggling illicit substances. And he's talking about the Japanese government tries diligently to keep harmful influences out, and they ban importation of propagative seeds of non-native plants. And this is, of course, with good reason. There's no complaints about this. So peanuts, of course, I didn't really think about it before. A peanut is actually a seed. So there's there's very, very strict rules and regulations about getting seeds from some plant into another country. Yeah, they're all gone. We've eaten them. They're long gone, long gone. We shared them up. We put them on our snack table at the back, and we've eaten them. They're gone. I'm sorry, I don't have one to show you. Everybody enjoyed them. They were fine. We had been afraid that they might be sort of oily and greasy, but they weren't. They were just nice, tasty, salty peanuts. So here, the peanuts that I sent you are seeds of the plant. So by deep fat frying them, they taste better and they are rendered non-propagative, like sterile, obviously. So you can't plant them and grow them. They're just food. So that means it was able to send them to me and I wouldn't have any import problem or any restrictions on this. And we did enjoy them. Yes, thank you very much. Nobody here has an allergy to peanuts. They're very nice. So thanks for the update on this. And I'm sorry if I said something in your to your previous email that made you think I was like not happy about receiving these or whatever. So thank you again, sir. Your family. I remember you guys. It was a good, fun family. So someone's asking a question about across the street. Someone says, "Is that the bag lady?" What's going on? No. No, something's happening at the Ninja. The bag lady we can't see. Oh, yes. Is that her? She is indeed cleaning up. Yes, she's being a good citizen and she is cleaning garbage from around the base of one of the trees in front of her place. So please, let's be careful. Bag lady, that's the lady who runs the handbag store across the street. And she's doing her cleaning job. Last Tuesday was the street cleaning. It's the first Tuesday in every month is the street cleaning. Prints. We have another print. I'm not sure. Let me look at it first to see if I can actually show this, because whatever. This looks fine. It's a print. Let's have a peek. There's no address, no country. We have a first name. It says Eric. I think we're okay. We're not doxing anybody. Somebody called Eric. Sadly, you were not here today. I hope you enjoyed your day in Ome. Yes, sir, Eric. The print is on Katsura. I had to fly here to get some cherry blocks. Oh, I see. So his first print, he's been making it on Katsura wood. That's very hard brittle wood. And he's going to get some cherry wood. So here we are, a first print. And I know no more about this than this. Is it somebody on the stream here? Somebody called Eric. It's interesting, there's some double techniques here. We've got it basically in the Japanese style where the lines are left, the outside wood is cut away, but it's also used a kind of cross-hatching. Here's the garbage pickup team. Crash, bang. As we said, it's metal, non-recyclable stuff, glass and metal today. But so it's Japanese style, but there is some Western type cross hatching, and this looks like almost like Western style buran work. It's a mix of the two. Eric, I guess it's your first print. Good start. Thank you very much for sending this. It's on a laminated. The paper is sort of laminated, glued together on two sheets. I don't quite know why. Color blocks coming. Thank you, sir. It doesn't say. I guess it's another print. This one is from Poland. Can I take a peek? Yes, it looks like it's a print. Let's see. It's from Poland. There's a long letter. Hang on a second. Let me look at the thing first. Nice presentation. Ooh, 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 oh! It's Utamaro. Oh, multiple copies. Oh, multiple copies. Look at this, look at this. There is an explanation. Let's zoom in and I'll have a look at the explanation. The image is famous in Japanese art. It's purported to be a portrait of Utamaro, one of the famous designers from the late 1700s, early 1800s. He's the guy who spent like most of his time in the Yoshiwara doing pictures of women. And I don't remember the background. I don't remember who drew this, but it's purported to be, as I said, Utamaro. There's 3 copies here printed on it. Funny, funny, funny paper. Whoa, look at that paper. There's an explanation. Recently, I decided to try and create a work in the old style. Well, let's go back up. I'm a printmaker and I've been involved in Mokuhankan for several years. I mainly create contemporary works and try to adapt Mokuhankan to my conditions. I'm looking for substitutes for traditional tools and materials because in Poland it is also possible to create. The English is a bit scrambled. He's looking for substitutes for traditional tools in order to work in Poland. I appreciate what you do to popularize the work. Thank you. Okay, I decided to try and create a work in the old style. I redesigned Portrait of Utamaro attributed to Eishi. I cut a block and printed the graphics. They are probably not as high quality as you are used to when working with the professionals, but I hope you like my attempts. Of course, of course, of course, of course. Do whatever you like with my prints. Give them away, sell them, or throw them away. They are yours. Like we're going to throw this away. Come on, come on, come on, come on. This is also nicely done. I don't know what wood I would like to hear. Is this done on cherry? Do we know this person? So are we doxing somebody here or we know this person? Matcha with... Okay, maybe we're okay because it says it's signed here Matcha. So I guess if we're okay to show this, I think we're all right. He makes his own tools. You've got a website? Okay, then I think we're good to go. There's some detailed work here. Look at this. This is detailed. Here's my finger. Look at this. He's done all that in the space of my finger. With what tools? I don't know. The sound across the street is the hotel vacuum cleaner. He's cut himself quite a challenge here, you know, because to do a print like this, which has fine lines, eyes, thread, fingers, whatever, it's got fine lines. So not only do you have to cut fine lines, but you've got to print with some delicacy. But on the same block, he has kept the fabric color black by just cutting a little white line out to show the folds. But it means you have to print this quite heavily and darkly. And it's very, very difficult. It's one of our most difficult challenges when there's rich black areas, wide black areas, and thin, tiny, delicate lines in the same block. And there's no way, I mean, I also didn't know this at the beginning, so I also tried some of this. I tried to do some early ukiyo-e, which had that thin lines and thick lines in the same place. And I found it very difficult. So there's no way I would recommend something like this for somebody's first attempts, you know, young attempts. Nicely done. Nicely done, sir. Is he here, this person? Or he, she, I'm sorry? He says it's European cherry wood on his Instagram. He's got a picture of the block. Nice work. The paper is not to die for, that's for sure, but I guess this person is having trouble finding good paper. Thank you. Always happy to see. I will not be throwing them away. They will go into our collection of prints sent to us by young printmakers. Thank you very much. I hope we didn't do anything wrong making that public. I think it's okay to show. When people send prints, you know, I think we're okay. That's why people send them. Nice packaging too, interesting. Okay, bit more work until 9:15, then we'll do show and tell. I can't see the truck. I guess it's perhaps our delivery service of towels. I don't know. The door is open, so it's going to be noisy, and if he doesn't turn his truck off. Yes, I think at this point, if people are sending prints, oh, it's the vegetable man. Very fast. I think if people are sending prints, it's kind of fair game that we would open them. If somebody sends something and didn't want it opened on the stream, well, that's what I do. I peek at it first rather than opening it bald. But I think in most cases we're okay. There's something else to report. I got an update from Manuel, the young man from Portugal, straight edge dude, the young man who has been uploading our videos, the Twitch videos, to YouTube. He was here a few days ago, sat in on the stream for a while. We went out for dinner the other day, he and Taran-san and I, and he sent me an email this morning with an update. He's now on his way. He's at the airport or on his way to the airport, on his way back home. But one thing he had picked up on was that something I had mentioned about the temple bell at Sensoji. I had mentioned the story, it was either on the stream here or chatting with him directly. I had mentioned the time that when I was first living in Asakusa, I was curious about everything going on. So sometimes in the morning I would go over to the temple there at the time they were ringing the bell. And I had been surprised to see, this is 2014, 2015, 2016, somewhere on there. I had been surprised to see while watching the priest ring the bell at 6 in the morning, I had been really surprised to see that he had a police escort. And I saw this on more than one occasion. Just before 6 o'clock, the priest came out of the quarters there, all dressed up in quite finery. This was quite a ceremony. He came over to the bell tower, waited and watched the time, and then at the stroke of 6, triggered the bell. Actually physically rang the bell. But I was curious why he would need a police escort to do this. And I'd mentioned that a few times. Anyway, Manuel was curious. He went over there. It was either this morning or yesterday. His email this morning didn't say so. But he said, Dave, I went over to watch the priest ring the bell at 6 o'clock, and he came out, rang the bell the number of times and returned, and there was no police escort. So that thing I saw, and I've been eagerly repeating the story all these years, they have a police escort for the bell at Sensoji. They don't at the moment, it seems. There was something that must have happened, or maybe there was a threat in the air. I don't know anything about why. But that's an episode now from the past, and I have to stop repeating that story. Manuel said it's just normal. The guy comes out, checks his watch, rings the bell, and goes home. Yeah, so somebody else has got it. They don't need the policemen because they're carrying their own heat. I don't know. I really don't know. I did see that. I didn't make it up, and I was quite like, what's going on? I did see that, But anyway, time to put that story to bed. In case anybody's interested as well, I should mention this because Manuel doesn't really talk about his own work. One of the things he asked me to do while he was here is everything super noisy out there today, or is it just me? I don't know. One of the things that Manuel asked me to do while he was here was to go back in my files and find copies of early Twitch streams that he doesn't have on his website. He started uploading our Twitch streams to YouTube X years ago. He's got hundreds of them there now. But he asked, would it be okay if he could get the files, data files, for older streams previous to that time? And I was a little bit mixed feelings about this. And I agreed to what he had. And when he was here, I prepared a USB drive. And he's flying home now with complete stored copies of every Twitch stream we've ever done. Right from the first one where I clicked it and I said, it's like, is it alive? Is it up? whatever. The first one back in August 2017. So he's got them now. And I guess as time permits, he's going to start uploading these things one by one by one by one. And we talked about it. I'm okay with what he's doing, information, freedom of information, whatever, let the information be out there. But I'm obviously not really 100% comfortable with the fact now that every single thing I say on every one of these streams is now like being preserved. And like, come on, give me a break. Mark is asking a question. Shh, don't let him see this. No, shh, don't talk about that. No, I mean, I didn't give him my only copy. I dubbed it off. I have my copies here. I dubbed it to him, and he took it with him. You know. So I'm not. It wasn't. Did I tell the story wrong? He doesn't have the only copy of the data, and if his plane goes down, it's all lost. That's not what I was trying to say. Just we dubbed the data, of course. But I don't know. And the way people behave on the weekends when they come in, you know. I think the top one is not existing. I think we go right to the top. I think this is not a line. We don't need that one. The shoji screen goes up the top out of our sight. Dave, did I get a chance to read last stream's chat? There were suggestions about the 10th anniversary. Actually, I haven't. I'm sorry. I haven't seen that yet. Suggestions, I know. Yeah, suggestions. I know. Whatever. I put the idea out on the table. It is what it is. But at the moment, my God, with October being what it is, and this print having to get done, and I really don't know. I will try and look through that. And if there's some suggestions for something I could implement that wouldn't take 6 weeks for me to do, I might sort of try thinking about that. But at the moment, my God, there's emails. John here, he's here today. I started an email to John yesterday morning. I still haven't got it finished. Yeah, will not this up. That won't exist. Were there lots of good suggestions? Were there interesting suggestions, doable suggestions, things that could happen without a whole bunch of work? We'll try and get to it today, I'm sorry. Ask people to suggest designs for making a new print before the end of the month. Whatever, that's absolutely, absolutely impossible. There's no way in 1,000 years that we could get another new print made by the end of the month. It's just, no. And Hokusai number 12 is now coming. KJ number 11 is coming. The first print of next year's series is coming. The fourth print in the Cat series is coming later this month. Just no. This one, I'm supposed to get this done within the next couple of weeks. Whatever we do for the anniversary cannot involve making another print this month. Just impossible. Our resources now are so stressed out, so tied up, Every week, sometime during Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, before I go to Ome, I have to confirm the work for the printers for the 2 weeks down the line. Because in-house printers are doing their own sizing on the paper these days, but the in-house printers do their own sizing, but the printers who work in their own homes, they need me to size the paper. And there's Chiharu-san, Kubota-san, Mr. K, Mitamura-san's daughter. They need me to do the sizing. So I have to look at the calendar in advance, 2 weeks down the line, to decide what jobs they're going to do, what paper needs sizing, and get it done before I go to Ome. Oh, I see. So you weren't suggesting we make the print right now, but just a new project. Okay. Well, sort of the same thing, though. I know the answer is the same. I can't make a print at the end of the month, but even adding new projects right now, I'm struggling to fulfill the projects that we've got. I know next year's series is not so much of a burden. It's up and running. The designers are working on the future prints. That's okay. But once we finish the Hokusai project later this month, we're going to turn around and start it again. I know the Hokusai project has been closed. There's a waiting list for people to get in. It's been so popular that we haven't been able to let people in. And there's huge demand for that. So starting early in the year, or it might even probably start in December, our printers will be creating another whole new edition of the Hokusai prints, the Hokusai Reborn series. So that's going to take a huge amount of resources from us. While we print the new series next year, we will be simultaneously running another group of the Hokusai prints. Plus, of course, everything else, the Great Wave, all the other prints in our catalog, trying to keep them going. And until I get the cats cleared, until I get 8 cats out of here, I really, really don't want to start another specific new project. You know. How's our time? A few minutes, okay. I had my note. I forgot there was a couple of bits and pieces of other small news that should be reported too. I know today is Monday. 1 week from tomorrow, I'm on the train. I'm heading back up to Fukui Prefecture. More time with Murata-san and the paper making and reporting about the paper samples we've made and things like this. So I'm back up to Fukui Prefecture next week. The plan is to do Monday here, to swim Tuesday, and then get on the train and head up to Fukui. Spend all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday up there, and to come back Wednesday evening. And I'm not sure then what to do about the Thursday, whether I have time to get to Ome that evening, ready for a stream Thursday morning. I don't know. I'll repeat, and I'll update you with info on it when I get there. So this week, normal pattern. Stream here today. Thursday stream, 3 days from now, will be in Ome. Saturday back here in Ome, back here in Asakusa. Monday back here in Asakusa, and then I'm out of town for a couple of days. So I'll keep you updated on what's happening there. The idea is to keep the streams going. Stream on Thursday, but it won't be from Fukui Prefecture, of course. But I'll be getting back late the night before that, and it should be okay. The trains are reliable. He. So there's no plan to take an interruption to the stream like I did a few weeks ago. It's going to be fun getting up there seeing Murata-san again. I can also leak this, and it's really kind of irrelevant. Trucks. Ow! I can leak this, it's a bit irrelevant. One of the things I'm going to be doing up in Fukui, of course, we're talking to Murata-san, we're talking paper, we're inspecting paper, we're placing orders, stuff like that. I've also teed up with the Iwano family. You know, Mr. Iwano, he's now 90 or 91 or 92, I forget how old he is. When we go up there sometimes, they give us tea and we sit and chat. And he talks. He likes to chat about the old days. and Iwano-san. And this is, we hear him talk about something and I realize, oh my God, you know, he's got all this knowledge in his head, what's going on. So they've agreed to let us do this. We're going up a week tomorrow, Tuesday. And I'm not taking video to set up because that would be too much of an ask. We're taking recorders. We're going to clip a recorder on the guy's chest. We're going to sit and drink tea and let him tell all the lies he wants to tell, or whatever, you know, tell stories about the old days. It's not going to be an interview. He's an elderly man. He's probably going to get tired. We're just going to sit there and hang out and encourage him to just chat about the old days. You know, we're not going to take notes. We're just going to record the whole thing. And then if his wife joins us, she's got her own stories. And then if it goes well, he'll take a nap, whatever. And I'll say, can I come back in a couple of weeks? And, you know, can we do some more? I'd love to do this. And if then he ends up feeling comfortable enough with us at one of these sessions, maybe we'll put a camera in the corner and do some recording for a video, if he's cool with this. I mean, he's been on TV and stuff a million times. And he's got his spiel. He's been interviewed 10 million times. He's got his spiel. We don't want to do that. We don't want him to feel like he's being interviewed. We just want to close the door, let that stuff out of there. Just let him chat about when he was a little boy or when he was first making paper or whatever. And we asked about this and they said, sure, no problem. He really actually has nothing to do. He's not firm enough now. He's not infirm, but he's not firm enough to be able to make paper these days. And he really isn't so useful around the house. He's doing a bit of gardening outside. He sort of gets in the way. And this would be a perfect thing for him to spend time on. We're going to take him food, of course. We're going to take a fruit basket or something. Absolutely. He's also, you know, he is very proud of himself and what they've done. And he'll happily talk about this, you know. And it might become a problem in that he might want to talk about the accomplishments, becoming a living national treasure, and my paper is the best paper in Japan, whatever. He might want to like talk about that stuff, and I don't. I want to talk about the man and the history and the boy and how it all came together and stuff like this. So. We have small envelope prints, it seems. Pochibukuro. Is that all? And it looks like the layer count is 2. One for the bag and one for the wrapper. Let's see what's inside. These are not mine. These were picked up by Watanabe-san for the flea market. These will be making their way into the shop. This is not part of my collection. But to go back to the Iwano-san story, you know, when we were teeing this up with the Iwano family, can we come, when's a good time, Tuesday, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I also combined the trip with the business trip to Murata-san. We are visiting Murata-san to talk about paper and stuff like that. And as soon as she heard that we were visiting Iwano-san on Tuesday, she said, I want in. So she'll be joining us. And Murata-san has lived in that town for 28 years. She used to work for Iwano-san. And when we go over on Tuesday afternoon to chat with him, she wants in. So she'll be there. I got to be careful. I got to tell her, Murata-san, we're not interviewing, so be careful. Don't talk too much. Just, you know, pour tea and let's poke him and try and listen. But that would be cool. I mean, one of our future videos in that series, you know, the next video or the next video, if we can do that, Murata-san and Iwano-san sitting there chatting together, the 90-year-old guy with the young woman who is, you know, the new generation. Oh my God. So again, I'm just describing what we're trying to put together. None of it's promises yet. And, you know, he may end up not turning out to be all that verbally interesting. You know, the interview I did with Murata-san on that last video was really frustrating, you know. If you watch it again, you'll see I ask her a question and she says, and paused instead of spilling more beans. You know, I had to cut in and talk more. Okay, Dave. What we have here are pochibokuro. Now, I don't know what she has or what she found, but a couple of things right away. These are new. These are not old from Meiji era or something like this. These are white paper. They're brittle. They're opaque pigments here, printed not so well. The carving is rusty, not proud carving. These are grade B, grade C, grade D pochibokuro. But they are what they are. Let's have a peek through. This could be the kind of thing you could find in a store today. There's a place called Isetatsu that sells things like this. There's a shop in Kyoto. What are they called? Takesasado. They sell things like this. I don't know who the maker is. It's happy that they are making these things. I feel a bit sad about the level of accomplishment. Tomoe. Some of this really looks quite amateur. So yeah, pochibokuro, these kind of things are still being made. Tomoe, maybe it's a shop name. I don't recognize it, I'm sorry. Tomoe. And it's bright, modern poster color pigments. These are not traditional Japanese pigments. These are poster colors. I'm happy that they have made these with the woodblock method, but of course, when I think about what it used to be like, some of the ones we've opened before, you know, I don't know. I don't want to say anything bad, I'm sorry, but whatever. Our job is to show the best and show what's happening. Oh, is that a shop's name? What does it say? Yes, it's Isetatsu. At least this one. This is the shop. They're in Tokyo, over near Nizujinja. That's their mark, Isetatsu. Whether they're responsible for all of these, I don't know, or just this one. This is a little bit more nicely made. So maybe this is a bunch of different stuff mixed together. Isetatsu, they're trying hard. I know they're still doing it. They're making woodblock prints for use by people in their daily lives. And this one's nice. There's nothing embarrassing about this. It looks a bit strange to us because the paper is so bright white, you know. But this one's fine. It's been carved with a bit of delicacy. Look at this. The lines of the monkey are nice. This one and the one we saw a moment ago, it's night and day difference, you know. This is amateur work completely. This has a touch of nice delicacy. And this has got the name, Isetatsu. As for the rest of them, I have no idea where they would have come from. I don't know. Isetatsu again. Maybe they're all from there, I don't know. Tomoe. Maybe it's a company name. I don't recognize them. I'm sorry. You know. It's funny too. Is there a paradox? And am I being hypocritical in the way I approach this stuff? You know, if somebody puts this on my table here as a commercial product for sale in Japan, as an example of something, part of a tradition that's been going on for 100 years. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, you know, I'm embarrassed about this. It's made so carelessly compared to the old ones. It doesn't have the tone and nice feeling compared to the old ones. Why am I looking at this? And yet a few minutes ago, I could open a package from somebody overseas who has tried to make their first print, and it's like not actually very, very well made, but I'm full of praise for it. I'm very, very happy to see somebody trying to make a print, trying to learn about it, and as step one, trying to move forward. So for me, I see a print like this as being, this is just so cool. Wow, wonderful. Thank you very much. There's a chip in the line. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. On my first block, there were 50 chips in the lines. It doesn't matter. So this to me is full of warmth and happiness and pleasure. So it's a paradox. I'm sorry. There's a commercial product for sale here in Japan that is made to a similar level. It doesn't fill me with warmth and happiness and pleasure. So maybe I'm being hypocritical. I really don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know, you get what I'm getting at, of course, you know. The product might actually be the same if you took them out of context. If this little balloon had arrived in an envelope from overseas as somebody's attempt to make woodblock prints, Pochibukuro, I'd be like, wow, this is so cool, keep going, you're really going to be good at this, you know. But to see it as a commercial product from a company at the tail end of a decay that is going on for 100 years, then of course there's no pleasure for me there. I'm sorry. So whether if I'm being hypocritical or paradoxical, I don't know. Whatever. I think you understand what I'm saying. The same object, given a different context, could trigger a completely different response in me. You know, this one from a company here in Tokyo being sold, I'm kind of ashamed of it. Although they're not pretending it's nowhere near as good as the stuff 100 years ago. But I'm kind of ashamed of it. But if this arrives in a package, one of the Twitch stream members here has made this, I would be full of admiration for it. I don't think there's anything paradoxical there. And even I'm not upset and angry about this. Modern culture has moved on. Made-a-san, good morning. You know, modern times has moved on. We shouldn't be. Modern Tokyo shouldn't be making the same stuff Tokyo made in 1924. I'm the odd man out here by asking and expecting and thinking that those things should be existing. Those were 1924 pictures. These are 2024 pictures, or whatever it is, whatever the year is. So I'm the odd man out. This is a reflection of modern culture, full of glorious modern products. The computer I'm using, the microphone I'm using, everything. We do things pretty well, human beings. We do things beautifully. It's not that they were wonderful in the old days and now people are no good. Of course it's not the case. I'm the guy who is the odd man out in expecting something like this to be made at the quality level of 100 years ago. So of course. どうもありがとうございます。3つですね。かな？はい。どうも。Okay, there we go. That'll do it. So there's the schedule. Today's Monday. I'm here. I'll be heading out to Ome for Wednesday. There will be a Thursday stream out there. Probably casual. We'll have a bit of video. We'll have a book corner. We'll chat. We'll feed some fish. See what's going on. That'll be Thursday. Saturday and Monday we'll be back here, and the Thursday after that could be either way. I'm not sure, because I will be racing back from Fukui Prefecture, hopefully with some really cool audio files and maybe some video files as well. In any case, thanks very much. We can't raid Jason, I think, because I don't think he's walking today. Whatever. He'll be sitting in with us next week or 2 weeks, somewhere around there. Jason will be sitting in for a wrap-up of his experience, his adventures. See you in a couple of days. Let's put the outside up. Getting busy, getting busy. It's October. Udagawa-san, good morning. I thought you had a baby. What's going on here? When I see the cover, you know.
On the trains, like you're supposed to, like you can't, like you know, people.
Yeah, no, I understand why. You know, no. She's wearing. I can't. They can't see me anymore. Whatever. Udagawa-san's just in. She's wearing her backpack on her front. And as she came in the door, it looked like she was holding a baby. And I think that was fast work. So, let's get out of here. See you in a few days in Ome. Thanks for now. Bye-bye. 3, 2, 1. Down she goes.